For those of you who haven't been living under a rock, you would have noticed that the NHR bill has now been signed into an Act of Parliament, which means that Cyril has basically doomed our healthcare. Now, for those of you who also didn't notice, the news came out and basically said no one liked this bill. Everybody was deeply unhappy. Well, Cyril at the weekend noted everybody's concerns and said he was now open to talking with business in South Africa and going forward and agreeing a better framework that better represents the will and the desire of the people. Now, some people have said this shows you that the might and fury of the business industry has forced Cyril Ramaphosa to adopt a more liberal and accepting approach.
This is what has happened as far as I can tell. The NHI has been a bill for the last almost decade and a half. Business Unity South Africa, the corporate sector, they've all gone to Parliament, they've all said how bad the bill is. They've all been ignored by the ANC. Now that the bill's actually signed, Cyril says, oh, okay, I've got all the leverage. This is law. Now I'm going to collaborate with the private sector. I'm going to ensure that we can talk together, have a social compact about healthcare through the NHI in South Africa. So effectively, what the ANC and Cyril himself has done is rather smart. Without it signing into law, there's no leverage for the ANC to take anything into consideration. Now that it has been signed into law, Cyril has all the leverage in the world, and now he's saying, okay, cool, corporate South Africa, come in, let's work this out. Corporate South Africa has been taken for a puss.
Yes, and so by your logic, Ramon, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but what you're effectively saying is that Cyril now has all the cards in his hand, and he gets to say to corporate South Africa, well, you know what role I think you should take? Maybe if you just do a little bit of like this and do some free hospital visits and something. It might not be as profitable for you, but if you don't, I control the NHR bill, and it pretty much spells your doom. So do as I say, because you don't have a choice. It's kind of like putting a gun to their head and then saying, I'll pull the trigger if you don't do what I ask. Can you really consider that a win?
Of course it's not a win. It's a win for the ANC. It's like beating your wife and then telling her after the fact, okay, come, let's talk about the issue. No, you've already beaten her. She's already on the wrong side. It's not an equal fight anymore. Same like Business Unity South Africa, they came out to say, we don't understand. We've partnered with the ANC on crime, on logistics, on ESCOM, but now they don't want to partner with us on health. Why is that? They say out loud. Very simply, Business Unity South Africa, you're being taken for a puss by the ANC. The most corrupt, retarded government in the world are making you look as retarded as they are. In fact, more retarded than they are. It's actually unbelievable how business people cannot understand simple political strategy.
So then if we take that one step further, I suppose the logical conclusion would be that this may be a ploy by the government to say, don't pursue a hand of might, in other words, the courts, and take us to court until Jesus comes back. Rather, negotiate with us in the country for, your benefit, not our benefit, because we don't need you. But, it will be in your benefit if you just negotiate. Maybe we'll give you a few little scraps from the table. The alternative is you litigate the hell out of this, get the entire thing struck down as law, and basically have one huge big defeat as government, which clearly they don't want. So the end result is you either take a blunt hammer to the ANC and crack it, or you negotiate from a position of weakness. So which position do you think they're going to take, Ramon?
I mean, they're corporates, right? Corporates are essentially liberal organizations. Corporates don't win by killing other people. They win by negotiating. The ANC understands this very well. The ANC is not a liberal organization. It has never negotiated for anything. People say Kodesa, but that was a whitewash. Let's be really honest with ourselves. Here's how it's going to work. So I was going to say, let's have a, not a government of national unity. Let's have a health, ministry, a health imbizo, if you like, a health Hotla, if you like. All the corporates from Sandton, come on in. The health Hotla at Gallagher Estate. We're going to hammer out how to make the NHI work. Because ironically, the ANC knows they can't make the NHI work because they know that they're retarded. They need the corporates to do it for them, right? But the corporates wouldn't do it if the ANC had no leverage to do it. You sign the law. Once the law is signed, before they take you to court, you say, okay, cool, now the law is signed, let's make it work together, you and I. Classic political strategy, brilliant political strategy. Anyone can see it coming a mile away, except for corporate South Africa, who is ironically more incompetent and useless than our national government, who can't keep the lights on. It's just emblematic of Rito Danistan now, isn't it?